Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another true crime live stream. The kind of live stream that cuts past the sensationalism, the fluff. We dig down into the deepy parts of it all. And I'm glad that you joined me. We are continuing a little bit of our coverage of the murder of Judge Kevin Mullins, who, if you guys will remember, was shot. I don't think this is in dispute at all. He was shot by his county sheriff. We're not going to actually see the shooting here. Yeah, it cuts off, it fades, it pauses. Not going to see it. But the judge was shot 8 times by the sheriff, a guy named Mickey Steins. Now, we've done 3 parts so far in this? First part, or 4? Is this part 4? I can't remember. We started out interviewing Elizabeth Jones from Hillbilly Crime. You guys got to go check out Elizabeth's channel, Hillbilly Crime. And she's awesome, and she is digging deep into this case, deep into this case, the murder of Judge Mullins. And we're going over some of the same stuff, but we have a little different take on it, right? This is... Autumn is saying, it's part 4. This is the 3rd recording in the, what do we call it? The AG, the Kentucky Attorney General's office's file in a successful prosecution of a man named Ben Fields. Now, this is all going to connect together, okay? We start with the judge. Judge has a sheriff named Mickey Steins. Sheriff has a deputy named Ben Fields. Now, there was a successful prosecution of Mr. Fields, Deputy Fields. He was convicted of SAing some women in the county jail, which is in the basement of the courthouse. And, he only served like 6 months for it, which I just think is ridiculous. But, in the file, there are recordings from 2 women who are they're now in a civil lawsuit against Mr. Fields, also against Sheriff Steins, and the company that Ben Fields worked for, Eastern Kentucky Correctional Services. Here is the complaint, where they basically allege that Sheriff Steins knew all about it. And in one of the recordings, one of the ladies, her name is Sabrina Adkins. Sabrina has gone public, so I'm not outing her here. She alleges some pretty crazy stuff happening in Judge Mullins' office prior to the craziness that happened here. Okay? Now, we've listened to 2 full recordings over 3, you guys can't even see my hand, over 3 videos. In part 4 here, we're going to listen to a 3rd recording. I don't want to belabor this too long because it's about a 40-minute, it's 39 minutes and 21 seconds. It's recording, but this is where the rubber meets the road, okay? This is where we start to learn a little bit more about maybe how Judge Mullins was involved in the stuff that Ben Fields was caught doing. And it's possible the Sheriff Steins, here he is after being booked into the Letcher County Jail there in Kentucky. Maybe we just show him this, how Sheriff Steins may have been involved. So with that introduction out of the way, let me start this video. Where is my button for the video? I don't have a button for the video. That's not okay. Let's do this. All right, here we go. And this audio sounds so much better than the other ones, guys. We're going to be able to understand everything here, almost everything. Here we go.
So you've brought an ankle monitor, and he gave this to you?
Yeah, that's what I went to jail with.
That's what you had on when you went to jail?
Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what to do with it.
But that's not been on as far as you know?
No, it's never been on. No.
And when you said, like, when you started this the flirtation, I guess, you had your bracelet on.
Yes.
So when you got out of jail, you met him.
He met me at the jail for the bracelet.
Met Ben, right?
Right at the jail.
Right at the jail. As soon as you got out,
Yes.
he put your bracelet on.
Yes.
So you kept your bracelet on for a while.
Yes.
Then the relationship developed.
Mhm.
How long after the relationship developed, like from the time you got out of jail, from the time that he first took your bracelet off?
I'd say 6 weeks because I told the court I wanted to go to rehab, and I couldn't afford to, the bracelet. And I put in motion after motion, and finally they said I could go to rehab but still had to pay for it. And that was the original reason, I think anyway, in my head, or I want to believe that he took it off, is I was going to go to rehab.
So the court system allowed you to go to rehab.
Yes, but they think I had my bracelet on. The court never knew my bracelet was off ever. Well, I'm told the judge.
Let me pause this for a second. Let's just catch up, okay? The allegation that Sabrina Atkins is making here is that Ben Fields was trading sexual favors with her in order to not have to wear her ankle monitor. He worked for the company that supplied the ankle monitors and as bailiff at the jail. Once Mickey Steins was elected sheriff, then Ben Fields went over to, I guess, I'm not sure exactly what the timing was, but he was the guy at the courthouse that did the ankle monitors, right? Part of her getting out of jail, one of the conditions was she had to wear a GPS-enabled ankle monitor. Mr. Fields was like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, that kind of thing. Okay? All right, let's go back over here.
He would meet me the day before, and actually the second time I got arrested for driving in Pike County, I had court that day, and I was late, and being lied to the judge and told him I had to pull a sanction for something, before, and they had a special hearing for me at 2 o'clock that day.
So you're out. He about 6 weeks after you get out, you meet him.
Mhm.
Is that one of the first encounters? You told me
That
last
was
time
the
you had
first.
3 encounters with him of a sexual relationship. When the first one, is that when he took the bracelet off?
Yeah.
That's right, Olive.
So from the time you got out of jail, approximately 6 weeks after that is when the first sexual encounter took place, and he removed the bracelet.
Mhm.
All right, what did he do with that bracelet? Did he give it to you to say hold on to, or did he just keep it?
He kept it. He usually kept it every time. When I had told him that I was telling on him, I said, "You better give me a bracelet," and that's when he gave me this one.
All right, so now after the 6 weeks, you've met him. He's took your bracelet off. Does he ever put it back on?
The day before court, I usually met him the night before court, by court.
It's like if you had like just a court date on your regular charge, did you call?
Real quick, guys, because I noticed it in the comments and I totally get it. It does sound like the interviewer, a guy named Matt Easter, Detective Easter, when he said something like the flirtation, the relationship. I don't think that he is disbelieving or trying to downplay what happened there. Like, of course she didn't start the flirtation. This was abuse, right? This was abuse. And he knows that. And I think that over like the last 2 recordings that we've listened to, I've come to the conclusion that he is being super professional. And the fact that they are back 2 days later to conduct another interview that is recorded better, I almost said well. It's not well recorded, but it's recorded better. I think that he's taking it very seriously in the beginning. He's just trying not to prejudice her testimony by saying, okay, so when he assaulted you, right, he wants her to say those things. And I think that it's probably a good a good tactic. All right.
And say, hey, I've got a court date.
And he called me too. I mean, we called each other because I'm real big on keeping my court dates. And he said, meet me at 8 o'clock at the courthouse or, whatever. Or I'll leave the courthouse unlocked and I'll be there shortly. And it was always the night before my court hearings.
How many court days do you remember having to do that?
At least, probably get 4 or 5 because I'd made 3 different motions myself. So that's my regular.
Now, every court date, was there a sexual relationship that occurred prior?
No.
So you may have court tomorrow and you just may meet him real quick somewhere and he'd throw it back on.
Yeah. But we always met at the courthouse. Always.
Always at the courthouse?
Yeah, in the judge's chambers. Always.
Even to put it on?
Yes.
In the judge's chambers.
And take it off. Always there.
Okay, so now we're going to court. He has met you at the courthouse the night before. Is that typically how it went?
Yeah.
Puts the bracelet back on. You go to court. Then what happens?
I'd call him when I get out of court. Where do you want me to meet you to get this bracelet? Once he let me actually cut it off. Because he couldn't make me.
Okay.
So you meet him back.
Trevor Long. So listen, I appreciate the comment, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. I love disagreement, as long as it's respectful. I don't think that he's trying to help Ben Fields here. I really don't, because he keeps asking for more and more evidence. As soon as he hears her say something, he asks her to, expand on that. Did you have anything in writing? He spent all the time going through her Facebook messages and her texts. I don't think he was trying to help Fields at all. I really don't. I think that he was doing a good investigation. But, I respect your opinion too.
The courthouse the day after court or that day or something.
Yeah.
And then he would take the bracelet back off.
And keep it.
And he would keep it. Now, as far as you know, how do you know the bracelets are on or off?
There's usually a light and you have a charger, you got to charge them.
Okay. So when you get out, he puts that first bracelet on. That's 6 weeks that's on you. Are you paying that fee? So you paid it for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So then you meet him. You had a sexual relationship. He takes the bracelet off. When he puts it back on, do you have to charge that? Do you think the bracelet was on?
No.
You think he's turned it off?
Yeah.
So the rest of the time, it's turned off.
Yeah, because usually Patty calls you, says you charge your bracelet or,
Yeah, he's not a Fed, but he's with the state AG's office. He's not with the sheriff's county. He's not with anywhere in the county, in the city or anything like that. He is a state investigator.
Patty
So the bracelet that you have there, that was one of those last times that you've met him, you've had court, he gave you that bracelet?
No, not for court. I called him and told him I thought I was going to tell. And I said, you better give me a bracelet, something I was scared to death. I didn't know what to do. And so I made him give me the bracelet for that reason.
So once, like you said there yesterday or the day before yesterday, you said that we found out your boyfriend, talking about, right? You let Ben know, and that's when everything, so then you said, hell no, everybody knows about us and our relationship. You told him that, right? And then you tell Ben, I need a bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has actually brought a physical bracelet to this. That's what I'm gathering, to this interview, to show them this is a bracelet he gave me. You can hear him taking notes.
What did he tell you about that? Did he say anything? Hey, you need a bracelet, I'll get this to you, or he just, what?
No, I told him that, and he said, where are you going to be at this evening? And I went and met him. Give him a bracelet. He really didn't say a whole lot about, telling or, going to tell. He didn't give any kind of opinion on it at all. He'd always tell me to stay away from her bed or blah, blah, blah,
Did, was that bracelet active?
I've never had a charger. There's no way it could be, as long as I've had it.
Now, the other day you said that the reason that you started the relationship with Ben is because you had heard rumors that if you had relationships with him, or that you could, wouldn't have to pay your fees and
Right.
wouldn't have to wear the bracelet and you can do what you want. And you gave me a name, but that you don't know her personally.
No.
Do you know anybody personally, like that you know that this has happened to, or is this just rumors you heard in the jail?
Just rumors. And I know that Chad Brown, he went on house arrest, but he does have some videotapes.
This is the
stuff
part.
in the judge's chambers.
What kind of stuff?
Just with girls, sexual and stuff.
What describe? Have you seen the videos?
I've seen one partly, and just them having sex with girls for their bail to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups up there,
Ben and higher ups.
the judge and.
Now you saw the video.
Mm,
What did you see on the video? I mean, you
I've seen Judge Mullins having sex with a girl.
who was the girl?
I don't know, because I don't know a lot of people from over.
Okay, let's pause there. This is crazy, right? I don't think they know each other, Olive, but I could be wrong. This is the crazy part here, guys. Oh, and thank you. I should have said that. TJ, the girl with the big dog. Thank you very, very much for that super chat. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and to everybody else as well. I hope you guys have a terrific holiday. But this is the crazy thing. She's like, I've seen a video. Here's the name of the guy who has the video. Oh, what was on the video? I saw one video partly, and it was Ben, this guy, and some other higher ups. Who are some higher ups? Who are some higher ups? And then specifically, I saw Judge Mullins having sex with a girl in his chambers on video. I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. We're gonna listen to that one more time. Just go back a little bit.
He went on house arrest, but he does have some videotapes.
I'm gonna come back.
Blah,
Here we go.
Did was that bracelet active?
I've never had a charger. There's no way it could be, as long as I've had it.
Now, the other day you said that the reason that you started the relationship with Ben is because you had heard rumors that if you had relationships with him, or that you could, wouldn't have to pay your fees and
Right.
wouldn't have to wear the bracelet and you can do what you want. And you gave me a name, but that you don't know her personally.
No.
Do you know anybody personally, like that you know that this has happened to, or is this just rumors you heard in the jail?
Just rumors. And I know that Chad Brown,
Chad
he went on
Brown.
house arrest, but he does have some videotapes of some stuff in the judge's chambers.
What kind of stuff?
Just with girls, sexual and stuff.
What describe? Have you seen the videos?
I've seen one partly, and just them having sex with girls for their bail to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups up there,
Who?
the judge and.
Now you saw the video.
Which judge?
What did you see on the video? I mean, you
I've seen Judge Mullins having sex with a girl.
who was the girl?
I don't know, because I don't know a lot of people from over
Where was it at?
in his office, in the judge's chambers.
Is that the same place that you were meeting Ben? Is that how you know it was a judge in chambers? And this was Judge who?
Mullins.
But you don't know who the girl was.
I mean, she is being very specific here. The name of the guy who had the tapes, that she saw tape, that it was in the chambers, that it was Ben and some higher ups. What other higher ups? The judge. Which judge? Judge Mullins. Now, keep in mind, guys, that this happened. Let me bring this over here. This happened after, couple days after, he was deposed in this lawsuit. So we're all wondering, why did Mickey Steins open fire on Judge Mullins? Oh my goodness. Why did he open fire on Judge Mullins? 8 times he shot him. Well, could it possibly be that they're all caught? Is that possible? Oh my goodness. All right, let's keep going. Keep going. Coming over here.
And what was this guy's name again?
Chad Brown.
Do you know Chad Brown?
Yeah, I do. He's on the run. He's hiding. They've shot at him and everything.
Who has?
The Western County Sheriff's Department trying to catch him.
What was he on the run for?
I don't know. I really did that. I don't know.
Why would he have a video of the judge having sex with
He's
somebody?
got several. I don't know how he got them. I didn't ask. Because listen, I know too much over there, and that is a dirty place. I try not to know. I don't know how he got them. But he does have some. And he's got an attorney that, I can't remember, maybe in Somerset, that knows about it too.
There's an attorney who knows about it.
But you saw the video
I saw one video.
of the judge. Any other videos that you actually saw?
No. They say that the Sheriff Mickey Steins is involved. I don't know.
They say that Sheriff Mickey Steins is involved. I don't know. Oh, this Mickey Steins? This Mickey Steins? That Mickey Steins. They say Mickey Steins is involved. I don't know. Oh.
Who said that?
Chad, he said he had videos with Mickey. That Mickey used to do the same thing when he was over house arrest.
And then Chad just, so you've not seen any videos of Ben,
No.
but you just saw the judge.
Right.
Do you know for sure that was the judge?
Yes.
I mean, how do you know that's the judge?
I've been in front of him.
Know his
Face
face.
is pretty clear on there.
Face is pretty clear.
But you don't know who the female was.
No.
Would Chad be willing to meet me? Could you get a hold of him and maybe even let him call me? Or could you get him to send you those? Is it on his phone or
No, they're cassette tapes.
they're cassette tapes? Like a cassette, did you,
VHS.
like a VHS, like a big one?
Yeah, the big one. He goes back a long time. I don't know. He's just good, but he's got.
You know, when I asked Elizabeth, why would they put them on VHS? She's like, well, because they're not digital, because they can't be shared around, because they're on analog tape. And I thought that was an astute observation. I thought that was really, really good. Yeah, need some Z's. VHS? Yes. Becca says, Gavin, what's the differing views that you and Hillbilly Crime hold? Just curious. You know, I'm going to try to have Elizabeth back on, and now that, like, once I've listened to everything, I'm going to try to have her back on and we can kind of discuss our different theories. So if you're not subscribed and you want to hear that, definitely subscribe. But so far, the only thing that I really know that is different between us is that I think that Detective Easter was doing a very good investigation, and Elizabeth thinks that he was kind of on Benfield's side. Now, let me tell you the difference between me and Elizabeth. She holds both bachelor's degrees and master's degree in criminal justice. I hold no such degrees, right? So she's a professional, and she has a background in Letcher County that she shared with us about kind of how this good old boy network works. But so far, from what I'm hearing, I still think that Mr. Easter is doing a pretty darn good job.
Videotapes, he said, for last 15 years. I don't know. I've seen one for sure.
And when did you see? How long has that been?
A couple months ago.
Do you think that you could get that video?
Maybe.
See, that's what I'm talking about. He
I
wants
gotta
to.
go over that way today to the doctor. I'm scared to death, but I'll try because I was planning on going to see Chad. Or at least maybe try to talk to him and to him call you. You know, something. I was going to have him call my attorney because Bethany was wanting to talk to him. But he's real, skittish and stuff and hides everywhere. And I don't blame him,
Well, yeah, obviously, but if you could get that video
I'll try.
or videos of anything that you think is necessary.
But that won't, you won't say that I got it right. I mean, that place is dirty over there. And, it kind of scares me.
I understand. Which we're not saying the judge has done anything wrong.
Right, exactly.
I'm
getting you a video and then it's your call of what happened. It might have been his girlfriend, I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Like I said, my only goal is to make sure this don't happen to somebody else. I struggle with it real bad.
And that's what we're trying to figure out is, the rumors, who I could go talk to else other than you.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking.
There is what is that girl's name I was in jail with? Let me turn on my phone.
We don't know.
That Ben had made sexual advances towards her.
Jason, I'm not sure.
Once you leave here today, what is going to be the best number to get up with you?
I had another phone and it was messed up. And I had all this time with telephone.
Remember, they have
And
her phones.
There was somebody called me and said that you were going to be late. And I forgot it.
Landlord.
Your landlord. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's in the address.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not connected to the internet, it says.
And to clarify, when Ben's uncle started calling you, and
Oh, Ben's
what did
uncle.
Ben tell you when you confronted Ben and said, "Hey, your uncle's calling me"? What did he say?
Hey, remember this. Let me just pause this for a second. Not only was Ben abusing her, but Ben got his uncle involved as well. It's just crazy.
Really not much. He said that when he's man who can help, because I was worried to death about my charges over there, being on this house arrest. He said, no, he can help you with your charges. And
That's all he said.
yeah. Or I'd say, your uncle's perfect. And he said, yeah, and he kind of laughed. That's usually it.
But he never told you to do any kind of sexual favors
He
with
did
him
not.
for.
I think they probably did.
Is there any? Did Ben ever send you any pictures or anything of him?
No.
Is there any of the messages? Because there's a bunch. I've not had a chance to go through them. That Ben talks about having a sexual relationship with you or anything that I need to really like. When I go through the messages,
Right.
and if I don't see something, I don't want to make sure I don't want to miss anything. So I'm trying to. Is there anything in there that he always said, anything sexual nation towards you that he sent to you?
No, not really, because he'd usually call. Because one thing, and that was probably a couple of weeks ago, he told me that Mickey Steins always had Norris do like the physical part of like the drugs and everything. And he said he has me on telephones. He said, so never put nothing on the phone you don't want nobody to see. So it's usually, so he would always, most time he would call. The most we texted was at the beginning, and then he got to where he got. So, I don't know why I won't switch over. Hold on.
So he told you never to put anything on the phone?
Yes. That's when that Justin Lucas had got arrested. And he called and told me, hey, he's got arrested, he's a rat, so much.
Need some Z's. Let me pause this for a second. Ben is the sheriff's deputy. Ben is the sheriff's deputy, and then Mickey is the sheriff. The judge is a guy named Kevin Mullins. That's him. So Kevin is judge, or Judge Mullins. Mickey Steins is the sheriff who did the shooting of Judge Mullins. And Ben Fields is the guy who was the deputy of the sheriff who was allegedly, well, not allegedly, he was convicted of this and sentenced and served time for this. He was abusing these women for trade. He was getting sexual favors from them in trade for letting them off the hook when it came to their GPS anklet. He was making that deal with them, which is a serious abuse of power and is definitely the R word. It's definitely SA, right? So that's where we are. It's hard to keep track of this a lot of the times.
Now, as part of your bond conditions, I guess, is wearing that bracelet. Were you allowed to go anywhere in the state, or were you supposed to stay in Letcher, or could you go to Pikeville? What do you remember?
I could go in Kentucky, but I always had to get permission for anything. If you walked outside that door, you'd get permission. I was not supposed to catch any more charges. I caught 3 charges.
Maybe.
Which was driving. When I say that, because I've been fighting for my license forever.
So you got 3 while he was supposed to be monitoring you, taking your bracelet on and off, you caught 3 more charges.
3 driving charges.
That's what I understand too, Ann.
You remember what the charges were?
Driving on with no license or something like that. And then one time I had 5 neurons on me, I think, and they caught me with
Possession. And that was in Letcher, or was
No,
it?
that was at Pike.
So Pikeville.
Yeah, that was the time I told you they hollered down in the pod and asked me where my bracelet was, and I told him it was home on the couch.
Sonia, I do. He got 6 months in jail. He was jailed in the same jail where his wife works as a jailer. He got 5 years probation and 2 years unsupervised probation. That's what I understand. It's ridiculous.
It was like I swear sometimes I listen to it, and I'm like, this can't be real. It's going crazy here. No, so let's give it just a minute. Okay, now.
Yeah, we're coming up on the halfway mark here, guys. While he's jotting down notes and thinking of what to ask next, let me just see if there's any.
She said, I don't know if they had a sexual relationship or whatever, but there was some, something. And then she went to jail right after that. And Ben's wife, was sergeant. And Ben's wife beat the crap out of her, and she had to pull 90 days over it.
You know this person,
I met her at the jail.
but you don't know her
No.
enough to say you can call me, or
Well, yeah, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I got her phone number. The day she got out, she hadn't been out long. She had messaged me on Facebook.
do you think you could get her to call me if she has something she wants to say?
Yeah.
We're willing to listen to anybody. And
Well, she was wanting to. She said, you give her my name. She said, this place is dirty, and it is. It's. And what's really funny, like city police in Pikeville, nobody knows that. They're like, it's a dirty county, and I'm like, well, then why ain't somebody done something about it before now?
well, if you could get up with her, and you want to pass my number, you still got my card,
I
right?
do. Well, I left it with him. So can I have another one? I'm blessed with a wonderful landlord, and his wife has really have faith in me. He gave me a second chance because I don't have family, and he sees how hard I struggle. And he's seen all that was going on. He's like, nobody will believe you. And we had, the judge called him the other day and said, I'm really sorry. He said, I hate she went through all this.
What judge?
Judge Hall, Keith Hall.
But you don't know anything about why the judge, his name has got brought up in this. Do you? You don't know anything.
No.
You're just hearing rumors.
Hearing rumors.
That's got to be frustrating for an investigator, right? Okay.
How much longer,
Got these
when
rumors
you got
to
caught
investigate.
for the Pikeville charges, did the escape charge come out?
So I got arrested, I think, in last August, and again in October, and then this last time. So, a while.
So the last time that you got arrested while you were out on bond was in October?
Yes,
And then when did the escape charge come out?
January. You know, I was called, faxed over paperwork. Judge Keith Hall called. I had Zoom court. You know, never was I trying to escape. Talked to the clerk's office.
Did Ben ever have to fill out any paperwork for you or
At the
anything?
beginning, yeah.
Right when you got out of jail?
Yeah, and the first time, like, you have to meet him every Wednesday, I think at 4 o'clock, you're supposed to. The first Wednesday, you know, he filled out paperwork.
But you don't, any other paperwork after that?
Okay, I'm going to pause here for just a second. There are a couple good questions. Gavin, so was the guy who shot the sheriff also guilty? No, it was the sheriff who shot the judge. That's what we're seeing right here. It's the sheriff shooting the judge. And the role that he played is that he's rumored to be one of the higher ups that was also in this abuse of women in jail kind of gang that was happening in the judge's chambers along with the judge. It's just really, really interesting. And then Beautiful Mess says, is Matt Easter in the same country? I think you might mean county. I think the AG's office is probably in Louisville. So no, completely different county. That's my guess, though. I don't know that specifically.
No.
Do you know what the name of that company that does that is?
No, I really don't.
You were just told to meet Ben.
Yeah, I was just told to meet Ben. And then Patty, I know that there's a lady named Patty that works with him. And, you know, she had told me I would not talk to Ben no more. And then just disappeared. He said, you don't have to worry about calling her. I was like, okay. I was like, how do you cover that? How do I just disappear? You know?
What did he say?
He said, don't worry about it. That's all he said.
Okay. Well, I will probably be giving you phone calls from time to time as I look into this further, because I'm sure I'm going to have more questions, more information. And then
Lee knows better than I do. Thanks, Lee.
so if you see my phone number, I'll say pop up. I'll give you the phone call at the 233-6747. Do you have voicemail?
I do.
So if I can leave voicemail.
Yeah.
Because I got a good feeling that I'm going to think of something.
Right.
That, you know,
You're like me, I forget things.
a follow-up question.
Can I have another card, please?
Another one?
Thank you.
You gonna run me out of business cards?
Yes. Do you think I have any concern, like, for my safety or anything? I know being long, you know, when it first started, which he was mad, but then there's a little boy that said something, and so, like, my son and ex-husband, and the magistrate was like, you know, she better be careful. She's dealing with a dangerous game.
You know, I don't know who, you know, I never have anybody I've talked to. I don't want to say you're safe or you're not safe,
Right.
because I can't be responsible for you.
Right.
I can say that nobody, the only person that I would know that probably knows that we're going to discuss a talk with you is the assistant county attorney
Okay.
in Letcher.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
You know, Justin, who's present here, he's a detective with us. And the guy that was with me the other day is a detective with us.
Marianne, according to Elizabeth last week, they are still married.
So we don't tell anybody
Right.
that you even have talked to
I'm
us.
sure my ex-husband said, they're just worried because I'm not afraid. At first I was.
If you have told somebody, then it got out.
Right.
But I feel confident that the assistant county attorney is not going to say anything. And he doesn't.
There was a boy that messaged me from over there that I didn't say that to. He's like, I was offered $500 for information for you from you or something like that. And I was like, about what? You know, and that's the only reason why I'm asking.
So what's the boy's name?
Justin Lucas, which is the boy that Ben warned me about. Hold on,
Said that he.
I'll tell you exactly what he said because he's in writing. You know, and like I told my son, I've run from things long enough and it's time to, I stand up for myself.
Interesting about this to me is, okay, so she's worried about her safety, which I think is a valid worry. And she's bringing up that some guy said that he was offered $500 for information. As a detective, they've got to take that seriously, right? But at the same time, they're probably wrestling with the whole thought that, man, there's just a lot of rumors and a lot of talking that goes on. So you have to weed through the stuff that is real and the stuff that isn't. I bet that's pretty tough.
Justin what?
Lucas.
Justin Lucas.
Uh-huh.
And so he said that somebody's offered him $500 for.
I say, I can't see what he said.
Get scrolled down there. I'll get my picture taken here.
Okay.
Hey, is this the start of the conversation?
Yeah.
I don't guess I had this the other day then on your phone, did it?
Well,
Since I had your phone.
Good comment,
right.
Steve.
I'm sure you didn't overlook.
So-
her.
Is it anything else there?
No, that's really it.
So let me see here if we got this right. I got it. He says, hey, I just got offered $500 for info I got.
Oh, right here. I'll take apparently somebody in the Angie family, his wife said it's Angie's real close family. And I liked him. I got married because he knows I live in a big old house by myself and it's kind of secluded. So I was like, I got married.
Now, let's just let me go over his text here. So it looks like
I
he
think he's
said,
taking
hey,
it
I just
serious.
got offered $500 for info I got. You're saying what info? Lord, I'm thinking about doing it. It's $500. What are you talking about? By the way, I got married. Married to who? So, and then he goes on and says, see, I had a whore down here. I like always pass out Xanaxes, letting her use my phone. So I don't understand what he's.
I don't understand the information that, because he knew, everybody knew it was common knowledge that, being done that. You go over there, with me and several other people, it was common knowledge. So I don't know what information he's talking about. But,
Because he's not saying he's wanting who's wanting to pay him $500. He doesn't say to find information on you.
right.
It really doesn't say what it. Does it?
Let me see.
Says the guest seeing you on my
I thought it
messages
said
looks and see a lot about Ben.
Hmm. That's a great
He
point.
didn't say me in particular. Poor thing about doing 500 married to who?
Yeah, that's a great point. They went to the AG's office instead of the state police, and you're right. I think that's maybe they were concerned that there were connections between the state police and the Letcher County Sheriff's Office or something. I mean, those guys would go to trainings and conferences and stuff like that. They might know each other. The AG's detectives, though, they're a level apart. Maybe, yeah. I think you're right.
What are you talking about?
when he kept telling me to type in, Ben's name, and I finally did, and I didn't see nothing besides this right here. I don't know what he was talking about.
I'm not for sure.
Me either. At one point, he said he was having an affair with Ben's wife. So I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know these people.
Right.
And I'm just now getting involved, so I have no information. Nobody's told me what people I've talked to says that, you're in danger or anything like that. I can't give you any.
Well, that's fine. I told my son I would ask, so he'd feel better.
Well, like I said, I can't answer that whether you're safe or you're not safe because I can't be there to protect you. But I do not at this time have any information to say otherwise.
Okay.
And as far as you meeting over here, if you don't tell anybody,
I don't tell anybody.
then like I said, the only person that and would be he knows the county attorney has actually gave us your name to somebody that we would need to talk to. That other than that, so he knows that a conversation is going to take place at some point. But I feel confident he's not going to say anything. The Commonwealth attorney is not even. We have a prosecutor that's assigned to this case, and she's out of Frankfurt, so the prosecutor's not even from around here either. And everything else people that's been with me has been in-house that works for the Attorney General. So nobody else.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, he just wanted to ask, and I wanted to double check you, because I am ashamed of this, but I'm kind of not. I'm kind of glad that it's out.
Well, I mean, as this gets out and we start talking, obviously, people's going to say stuff. At some point, we'll probably have to talk to Ben and.
Yeah, because it's all over Letcher County papers and stuff, So
By the way, we are going to listen to his talk with Ben when I come back, and this is my last live stream of the year. When I come back, we'll be going over that. By the way, let's pause since I've got it paused anyway. While I'm gone, I for the longest time on my channel, I did kind of investigative story time kind of stuff. I would investigate a case, I would write a script, I would film it, I'd edit it. And then I got into live streaming, which is a lot more fun for me. But I've been asked a couple times, when are you going to get back to what you used to do? And while I don't think I will completely get back to what I used to do, just doing those storytime kinds of things, I will drop one in every once in a while. And one is dropping on the 26th. So that will be, I did some research and I've got it scheduled. It's titled The Invention That Accidentally Created the Serial Killer. It's a fascinating story. So if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And then we're going to do this as a premiere on the 26th, which I hope you guys enjoy. So the day after Christmas, 3 days from now. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, let's get back to this.
I had phone calls and
I think the secrets got out when your civil attorney filed a civil lawsuit. That kind of put a damper on how we do things. It's not secretive, obviously.
I know. When I left here and went home, I seen a civil suit, and I was like, "Oh my God," because I hate all of it. I wish I could just change it all.
I'm glad she did it.
Like I said, I don't know if I hear anything that's would be concerning about you. I'll definitely tell you. I wouldn't want but I don't know anything. I can keep you aware of some stuff that we're doing. But we do some stuff. We try to keep it as low as we can because it helps us accomplish what we need. So.
And I'm trying to get back to live a normal life a little bit,
I understand that.
So.
Well, this process won't be a quick one. I'm sure, a criminal investigation is a long, drawn-out process.
So what happens next? You'll be investigating, and if you have any questions,
I'll call you.
Yes.
And then once I compile the investigation and we think we've done all we can do and talk to everybody we can talk to, then it'll go to a prosecutor, although a prosecutor will be on board with me throughout this. And then, of course, it's ultimately up to her what she thinks she can see and what, she'll make some decisions and then, you know, like I told you before, if there's something there, then it will go to a grand jury. If not, you know, sometimes the case will go to a grand jury and they don't do anything. And sometimes the case is not even worth going to a grand jury, you know. But that's a prosecutor will look at that.
I think he's
And
being fair
they're the
here.
ones that decide, you know, that knows the laws and that stuff. And like I told you, the prosecutor is out of Frankfurt office, you know, so it's not a local prosecutor. You can have confidence in, you know, if whatever happens, it'll be just straight up as it possibly could be.
Right.
There will not be any
That's what
local
I'm saying. I
politics
felt real
involved.
comfortable. You know, you said, and the judge, Keith Hall, actually was bragging on you. So he was a good guy, and I said he seemed to be.
I don't know him.
Don't you? He used to be the county attorney in Pike County.
I've had a couple of cases in Pike County with the Commonwealth attorney up there. The old Commonwealth attorney, he's not even there anymore.
I don't know.
Keith Bartley.
Oh, okay. I don't know. He, you know, when I mentioned your name and
I may have met him. I
right.
don't know.
And me and Keith, you know, our kids went to school together, so that's. And he was like, you know.
I can't say that I've not met him because I work in a lot of counties, so I may have.
Well, he said
I may
you're in
see
good
him.
hands.
Huh?
He said you're in good hands because you know he knows how nervous I was and.
Well, yeah, our office will do, you know, it, like I told you yesterday or the other day, you know, it is what it is.
No, I don't think so,
That's the
Money.
way it is. We look at it. It doesn't make you any difference if you're the Pope or you're a drug addict. What you have told me, you know, obviously I have to corroborate stuff. It doesn't matter if you was a drug dealer or the Pope tell me. I still got to do that. It's all the same.
And I appreciate that.
And what you've told me, I'm going to do my best to corroborate and work with it.
Thank you.
You know, once I get in this, like I said, may not find anything, may not find anybody else to talk to. But we'll just have to kind of see what develops. It's at the onset now. So
Now,
I know it
Bethany
was-
said something about 4 girls that went to the jail and said the same thing was going on. And she said, I'm getting a bunch of calls. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
will tell you, we're hearing the same stuff. What you're saying is, you know, this person, this person, this person. But when we're having a hard time getting hold of those people. No,
Listen, they weren't scared. I don't blame them.
well,
It
I
scared me
mean,
to death to even go over in Letcher County. I've not been back, and I have to go the
the
day.
thing about it at this point, there's nothing to be really scared of because if you come forward and tell me your story, they can't do anything to you. You know, if Ben calls you and says, you know, if you talk or something,
Right.
what you need to do is if Ben starts to call you or does something, you need to record the conversations.
Good.
You need to
Yeah.
get your other phone and hit record and put it on speakerphone where we can
Right.
hear what the conversation's about. And then after the conversation, next phone call, you need to be to me.
Right.
And if anybody threatens you because you're trying to be a witness, there's charges that we can send out on them to do that. Nobody can intimidate a witness. That's against the law. And I assure you, if I call the prosecutor at any given time and say, hey, our witness is somebody's intimidating her, and there's evidence of that, she will seek warrants quickly.
Okay.
It won't, you know, we're not gonna let anybody.
Right. 'Cause my biggest fear is to end up back in that jail. I mean, that.
But now, if you don't break the law,
Right.
but now
And
if you get out and get
No.
wild and start driving,
Right. Exactly.
you know, you're on your own.
Right.
But
But
if
just like.
nobody's gonna be able to trump charges up on you. I mean, we're past that.
Karen,
Right, now we're
I
past
don't
it.
know.
It's like that escape, you know, that's blows my mind.
Of course, the problem with the escape is we need to look at, and I just don't know. You know, is it because of the circumstances, or is it? You know, it's just we just have to kind of see.
Right.
I think I don't think anybody's going to go get another escape warrant on you. I'm fairly
Right.
certain that's not going to happen.
Right. God, no, I don't know.
But
And I called it escape too. I went, escape? What are you talking about?
let me take a picture of that
I
bracelet.
said, here's my bracelet.
'Cause I don't want it.
I don't either. It's try.
Yeah.
I looked at that. It's a good reminder. But I'm gonna go get Sinead, I think, or I don't know. Hopefully he'll take it because I don't want it.
Is there lights that light up on it?
Normally, yes.
On the bottom here when it's working?
Yes.
You can't turn it on and off.
Well, I ain't got a charger. He didn't get a charger with it.
But could you have turned it on and off yourself?
Oh, no.
Once it's activated, it's active.
It's active, yeah.
And the one time you said you cut it off?
Yeah.
How did you cut it off?
He told me to take scissors and cut it. And I did. He was busy doing something, and I was going to Lexington to see my nephew, one of my nephews, right after the other one died. And he kept making me right in. He said, just take scissors and cut it.
And then you ended up giving that back to him, and then he gave you another one. Is that on any kind of messages, or is that a voice phone
Coming
call?
to the end here.
I think it was a voice call. There might have been some text messages, but somebody had turned off my iCloud, and some of my messages didn't get saved from the past. So,
All right, any other questions for me?
no, I don't think so.
You got both your phones?
But my mom's and my
Oh, he's
bracelet,
returned them both. Good.
It seems crazy, don't it? Like,
I've seen crazier.
maybe, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thank you, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I really do.
You're very welcome, and like I said, we'll, like I told you the other day, we'll do our very best to see what's going on. I mean, that's all we can do, but I can assure you that it will be done thorough and done right. And,
That's
so you
all
don't
I
have to, as
That's
local
correct,
town
Manny.
stuff, doesn't play a role in this. So.
Yes. Because I would tell people, and everybody's like that was normal. And I'm like, this is not normal. I know it can't be.
No,
But thank you, I appreciate it.
you're welcome. I will, if like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. If I have questions, I'll probably be calling you.
I'm gonna call and
See if if she wants to, if she's got information, you can, meet and give my phone number, and I'll call her, meet and talk to her, or talk to her on the phone, whatever we need to do.
I'm gonna try to get a hold of Chad while I'm over there.
Let me know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that is the end. He prints it. and
Today's
then-
date is February 10th, 2022. It's 10:52.
That's basically it. Guys, yeah, let's not forget that this is about Judge Mullins, right? Like, we are, it's such a strange, convoluted case where we've got so many different things going on. We've got one guy who's abusing prisoners. He's probably one of many. She says she calls them the higher ups. Those higher ups may include Mickey Steins, may include Judge Mullins. She says she definitely saw Judge Mullins on there. And then Sheriff Steins shoots Judge Mullins after being deposed in this civil lawsuit that Ms. Atkins and a woman named Jennifer Hill brought. Jennifer Hill, sadly, has passed away. It's a big convoluted mess, and I'm so looking forward. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do after Christmas, we're going to start listening to the Ben Fields interview. Okay, I'm really looking forward to this, and I haven't listened to it yet, so I'm looking forward to the Ben Fields interview. We're going to do that when we come back from the Christmas break. Of course, during the Christmas break, I already told you guys about the invention that accidentally created the serial killer. That will happen on the 26th. But then after that, we will be coming back. I think if you go to my channel, we've got it scheduled for the January 2nd. That's where we'll get into that right here. Okay, so please subscribe if you would like to be notified about that. Hey, and if you guys could help me just a little bit, I think that we will get more views on this video, which would really help my channel if we can get some likes on that thing before we go. And I've set it up as a premiere. I will be joining you in the live chat when this goes live on December 26th. So it'll be early for me because I'll still be back in California. But yeah, if you guys could help try to drive some traffic to that is a huge way to support me. There's an entire page on my website on how you guys can support me. So many of you do. You watch the videos, you share them, you like and you comment on them. All of that stuff really helps. One of the ways that you can help my mods is I've reactivated this because you guys were asking, is to buy my lead mod Autumn a coffee. You can do that by clicking on this button right here. So you just go to my website, gavinfish.com, click on support me, and please take care of Autumn. She's our lead moderator and she does very, very good work. There was one other comment that I saw that I wanted to mention. Twisted, gives me some, I think it's valid criticism about interrupting too often. What's funny is if I don't interrupt, then I'm criticized for not interrupting enough. And when I interrupt, I'm criticized for interrupting too much. I completely understand if I'm not your cup of tea. Maybe you don't like it and you can just move on. But I've just decided that I'm just going to be who I am and interrupt from time to time. It takes longer. It does. But that's what I like to do. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. All right, guys, I hope if you are, I got to turn off I've got so many on. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. All of you, I hope you have a terrific holiday season and a Happy New Year. For those of you who are celebrating Hanukkah, I hope you have a happy Hanukkah. Everybody else, all of the celebrations, I hope that you're able to spend it with your loved ones and that you have a very good time. I got a gift from Mooney and Autumn because I like to drink my RO water during the live streams, and they hooked me up. They hooked me up with a couple things that probably will make some appearances over the next little while. Anyway, have a great holiday. I'll be back on January 2nd. Please join me on the 26th for the invention video. With that, I will bid you adieu. Oh, no, Gavin. One more shameless plug. There's one more shameless plug. Guys, no, there are two more shameless plugs. Please join me on CrimeCod. Sign up for the newsletter. We've got like 1,300 people on the newsletter now, which is pretty rad. And then if you're on Facebook, please join us over in the fish tank. It looks like this. Just search the fish tank. Or if you're on my website and you click this little fishy, that will take you over to the fish tank. Okay, that is the end of my shameless plugs. Have a happy holiday season. I will see you in the new year. Thank you for all of the support that you have given me this year. Especially, I want to thank Jamie for managing the fish tank, for starting it and managing it. She is the one who brought Autumn on board. Thank you, Autumn, for being my lead moderator. Thank you all who are working with her as moderators. Our OG Mooney, especially, bring you up. Bree, thank you. And I'm going to miss everybody's name, and I'm so sorry. But for those of you who helped the channel in any way, I'm deeply grateful for you. Thank you very much. With that, I will finally bid you adieu, and I'll see you next year. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.